there's a moment that catches a lot of people off guard. You finally reach the salary you've been chasing for years. Maybe it's $100,000. Maybe it's a little more. You expect relief. You expect confidence. You expect to finally stop worrying every time your phone buzzes with a bank notification. Instead, you still hesitate before buying something you want. You still wonder if you're saving enough. You still feel one unexpected expense away from losing control. And that's confusing. Because according to almost everyone, you've made it. So why doesn't it feel like it? The answer isn't that $100,000 is a bad salary. The trap is believing that a bigger paycheck automatically creates a bigger sense of security. It often doesn't. And once you understand why, you'll realize this isn't just about income. It's about how our brains quietly adapt to success. For decades, six figures represented something almost mythical. It was the salary people imagined would solve financial stress. Movies treated it as wealth. Career advice treated it as the finish line. Parents told their kids that if they could just reach six figures, life would become easier. But something strange happened. People started getting there. And many discovered that the emotional finish line kept moving. Not because they were ungrateful, because human psychology doesn't measure success in absolute numbers. It measures change. The excitement of earning more fades surprisingly fast. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. We adapt to improvements much faster than we expect. The apartment that once felt luxurious becomes normal. The paycheck that once felt enormous becomes expected. The promotion that once seemed impossible becomes your new baseline. Eventually, yesterday's dream starts feeling like today's minimum. Then another force quietly enters the picture. Lifestyle inflation. Not the kind driven by greed. The kind driven by convenience. When your income grows, your life often grows with it. You move closer to work. You upgrade your apartment. You replace an old car that constantly breaks down. You eat out a little more because your schedule gets busier. You subscribe to services that save time. None of these decisions seem irresponsible on their own. In fact, many of them genuinely improve your quality of life. But together, they change something important. Your fixed monthly obligations become larger, which means your higher salary doesn't necessarily buy more freedom. Sometimes it buys more commitments. And commitments have a way of making even a high income feel fragile. There's another psychological shift that almost nobody talks about. As your salary increases, your fear of losing it often increases too. Early in your career, a promotion feels exciting. Later, maintaining your lifestyle becomes the priority. You stop thinking only about earning more. You start thinking about what happens if the income disappears. That's why someone earning $100,000 can feel more anxious than someone earning $60,000. Not because they're objectively worse off, because they have more to protect. The bigger the financial structure you build, the heavier it feels to carry. Success doesn't eliminate fear. Sometimes it changes its shape. Then comes comparison, and comparison has a remarkable ability to erase progress. When you earned $50,000, you compared yourself to people making $70,000. Now that you're making $100,000, you're surrounded by people earning $150,000. The benchmark quietly shifts. Social media makes this even worse. You don't just compare salaries anymore, you compare vacations, homes, investment portfolios, morning routines, private schools, luxury kitchens, retirement accounts. People rarely compare themselves to where they came from. They compare themselves to the next visible level. That's a race with no finish line, because every level has another level above it. Meanwhile, inflation keeps rewriting the meaning of income. A $100,000 salary today doesn't provide the same purchasing power it did years ago. Housing costs have climbed in many cities. Insurance costs more. Healthcare costs more. Childcare costs more. Childcare costs more. Even ordinary grocery trips can feel surprisingly expensive. That doesn't mean $100,000 isn't a strong income. For many households, it absolutely is. But context matters. Where you live. Whether you're supporting a family. Whether you're carrying student loans or other debt. Income never exists in isolation. It's always interacting with the world around it. This is where the real trap appears. Many people spend years trying to increase income without asking a different question. What am I actually trying to buy? Because very few people want money for its own sake. They want options. Time, stability, freedom, the ability to say no. The ability to sleep without constant financial worry. But if every raise immediately turns into a larger mortgage, higher monthly payments, and greater expectations, then income increases without freedom increasing alongside it. It's possible to earn more while feeling less in control. Not because you failed, because the system quietly rewards consumption faster than it rewards financial resilience. And think that's why so many successful professionals describe feeling trapped. From the outside, everything looks impressive. A good job, a nice home, reliable income. Inside, there's a constant pressure to keep everything moving. Missing one paycheck suddenly feels unimaginable. That's not wealth. That's dependency wearing expensive clothes. Real financial security often looks much quieter. It's having enough savings that an unexpected expense doesn't become a crisis. It's having investments that slowly grow while you sleep. It's having room to make decisions based on values instead of panic. None of those things are particularly glamorous, but they create something a higher salary alone can't guarantee: peace of mind. So what do we do with this? First, stop treating salary as the scoreboard. Income matters. But what you keep, what you own, and how flexible your life becomes matter just as much. Second, be intentional every time your income increases. Not every raise needs to become a lifestyle upgrade. Sometimes the most valuable thing a raise can buy is a wider margin of safety. Third, pay attention to recurring commitments. A purchase isn't just about today's price, it's about tomorrow's obligation. The fewer automatic financial pressures you carry, the more freedom each paycheck creates. And finally, define enough before someone else defines it for you. Because if your definition of success constantly depends on earning more than the people around you, you'll always feel one promotion behind. Maybe the biggest surprise about earning $100,000 isn't that it fails to solve every financial problem. It's that it reveals a deeper truth. Financial security has never been created by income alone. It's created by the relationship between income, expectations, obligations, and peace of mind. A paycheck can change your lifestyle overnight. Changing your relationship with money takes much longer. So, if you've ever wondered why reaching six figures didn't feel the way you imagined, you're not broken. You didn't miss some secret. You simply discovered something many people don't realize until they're already there. The goal was never just to earn more. The goal was to build a life where money gives you more choices instead of more pressure. Because the real trap isn't making $100,000. It's spending your entire career chasing a number when what you were really searching for was freedom. Subscribe for more videos that help you understand money, behavior, and the world around you.